What's up? What's up? What's up? Say something when y'all come in. Let me know who all in the building. If you're a subscriber to the channel, let me know what's going on. We're gonna get started in a couple minutes. Out of here. Yes. All right. People already saying yes. All men cheat, huh? Okay. Well, we going live here on POF and YouTube. Right here, Stack 44. So if you want to call in, go to YouTube stream, call in, chime in. We're about to take some calls real quick. All right. So the question is, do all men cheat? And I'm going to say right now on the top that all men don't cheat. It just depends how the man is experienced with women, if he would cheat or not. You know, a lot of times a lot of times in this world, it's hard for women and men to be faithful because at the end of the day, you're only faithful as your options. And today's society, it tells us to pick up the smartphone that we can always have options. We can always go on a date now, find a date, go on Instagram, go on Facebook, have all this validation of, of dealing with different type of people and feel like we have options, and we live in an unrealistic society to make us feel like our options are always open. So do all men cheat? So I have 3 videos that I did on this on my YouTube channel, Stack 44 once again. And the first one was 5 reasons why men cheat. And we're going to go over that one right now. And we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why men cheat. And if you didn't see that video, go check it out. I featured Tyrese when he cheated on Taraji P. Henson on Baby Boy. That scene when he was about to cheat, but he kind of didn't cheat, but he kind of did cheat. But at the end of the day, we're going to go over the 5 reasons why men cheat. All right. So number 1, what's up, Jalen? The first one is man will settle for a woman that he don't really want, but at the same time, she may not have the sexual attraction, but she might have everything else. Women do this all the time too, but men do it as well. Man will get with a woman that's a safety net woman to say that everything's all good, but technically men are like we are the gatekeepers of marriage and stuff like that. But when we look at a woman, she has to meet our sexual appetite because men don't go back sexually. And if she doesn't, but she has everything else, eventually that appetite is going to run dry and then we're going to want what we used to have. So if she doesn't bring it in the bedroom, but she has everything else, and I know people say you can teach her how to be sexual towards you, but sometimes that's not the case. You know, sometimes if you're used to a certain appetite and she don't fulfill that appetite, eventually you're gonna go cheat. Same thing with a woman. A woman will get with a safety net guy that basically, you know, pays all the bills, does all the good things, and at the end of the day, if she doesn't satisfy her, she will go out and creep out the back door and go fuck the alpha male. A lot of times people don't realize that, but that is the truth because a lot of times women, you know, they are the gatekeepers of sex. So when they in that situation, they can choose to be with the one guy and then go creep out with the guy. Because a lot of guys that's alpha males gonna play their role. And a lot of times when men are unhappy sexually, they basically will move on to another woman. So that's my number 5 that was on that video. If you didn't see it, go check it out. 5 reasons why men cheat. Number 4, emotionally unattached. You know, a lot of times people, you know, the first 30 days, first 6 months, a lot of times everything goes perfect. And then eventually you get to the emotionally unattached. You get emotionally unattached with a woman. You get used to her. She may not be bringing the emotion at the time, but reason why a lot of times people are emotionally unattached is because they're not the best version of themselves. So a lot of times you'll see men and women both do this, with jumping back and forth from relationship to relationship, feeling that they can fulfill that void instead of working on themselves. So a lot of times when a man is emotionally unattached and a man do not, you know, express who he is as a man, a lot of times women get with a man and hope that he be the leader, but he has to show leadership in his own life and be very knowledgeable to try to lead you, because the man is the head, the woman's in the neck. A lot of times women get with a man and complain about he don't show his emotion when she was dating him before they got intimate. If he didn't really give her a concrete evidence of who he is as a man, then why move forward with a man? Because like I said, men are the head, woman is the neck. You gotta have both to move your head. But at the end of the day, a man should be more logical and should be able to tell his, you know, express his feelings. If he can't express his feelings and be a leader, then he's not the man you want to deal with in the first place, you know. But a lot of times when people are emotionally unattached and they feel like they use a person for a void, then that person always gonna come up short. So make sure you're dealing with somebody that's a leader and you can emotionally help them and you understand who they are as a man or a woman. So, you know, emotionally attached is my number 4. All right, number 3. Some guys just hate to break up with you. You know, a lot of times women think, you know, guys, sometimes it's a good old saying in the community is don't mess up your for show trying to get some more. Sometimes the guys get that emotionally unattached from a woman, but then they get to the point that they like, I don't have another woman to like get with. So they basically, I'm gonna sit here. I know I don't really want her no more, but at the same time, she's fulfilling my void. She's my sexual. I mean, I don't want to go on a drought, and it's kind of like a selfish move. But at the end of the day, they don't want to be the guy to break up with them. Even when they do find something on the side, they don't want to be the guy to break up with the woman. They want the woman to be like, you know, eventually they basically sabotage the relationship by not being the heartbreaker. Some guys do not like being a heartbreaker. If you notice, a lot of times in today's age, people get on the text, they will text you and break up with your ass. Like literally, like a lot of times people will text you, break up with you, because a lot of times people do not want to be the heartbreaker. And that's why I say sometimes you could create your own monster in relationships, because we sit back and we feel like these people could fulfill these voids, or we don't tell people exactly what we need to be replenished as a man and a woman. Because after 5, 6 months or a year, you know that person. Well, you should know that person if that person is up front. But at the same time, during that time, everybody's gonna go through a period of time when things get a little stale here and there, or you got to tell that person what's gonna recharge you to be with me. And a lot of times, people don't want to do that. People don't want to be honest about how you can replenish or recharge me, or where are you doing wrong in this area, that area. They feel like the grass is always greener on the other side, and sometimes the grass is not green on the other side, So, and if you coming in on a different platform, I'm on live on Stack 44 on YouTube. If you want to call in, the call in number is right there. I see other people coming in on the other platforms, so just come on in. But that's my number 3. A lot of guys hate to break up with women because they don't want to be the heartbreaker. And at the end of the day, sometimes men don't want to give up guaranteed sex. It might sound selfish, but that is the truth. And those are guys that haven't reached their appetite as a man, which brings me to my number 2, not reaching their sexual appetite. A lot of times guys will get in relationships for guaranteed sex. They don't want to go on to that. A lot of guys don't like going on droughts, period. It may sound cliche, but a lot of times guys go on droughts and they do not, they don't want to go on droughts. So they rather have a girlfriend over here. And basically she's pretty much like a spare tire, really. She the safety net. And then they rather go pursue some things on the side. They jump on Facebook, Instagram, the dating apps to try to find something new. Just the woman basically be a placeholder because he is not sexual. His sexual appetite is not fulfilled. And a lot of times people be thirsty as hell. So what's going on there? Miss, what is that? Pure Beauty 44. All right, I'm Stack 44. Come to Stack 44 on YouTube and hit me up, baby. And check this live stream out. You can call in too. But yeah, a lot of times when guys do not have their appetite all the way fulfilled, they basically will literally hold you as a placeholder and still be out there trying to look for something new because they're not satisfied with themselves. So make sure you deal with a man that he can actually express that he's sold his raw oats, he's ready. And if you're a woman, deal with a man that got the same end in mind. Like, that from the jump. Like, if you don't have the same end in mind, you're basically telling yourself, I'm going to hope and pray that this guy is going to be faithful. And a lot of times women don't understand that. Like, the same way you start a relationship, the same way you end a relationship. If you don't be upfront and honest in the beginning, then it's going to end like that. So even if it's a friendship and it turns into a relationship, at least you know what type of value this person brought as a friend and see if they could be a companion later. A lot of times people don't look on that aspect, that a man that has good value or a good truth, or a woman that can live in her truth, don't understand that. A lot of times you want to live in your truth before you build something with anybody. And be honest. First of all, you got to be honest with yourself, because, you're cheating on yourself if you're going into relationships or dealing with people a half of a person. So make sure you don't cheat on your own self. All right. My number 1 reason why a man will cheat on a woman is he loves new sex. Some guys are addicted to sex just like people are addicted to drugs. Sometimes a new piece of ass is just waiting for a man, and the man just wants that. So a lot of times it's nothing wrong with a man that actually living in his truth and knowing that he don't want to be in a relationship. Just be real with that. Then, you'll be surprised if you just be 100 with a woman and tell her exactly what you want. She would deal with you if you tell her exactly what you want. But if you act like you're not doing, you got to do what you want to do what you got to do later. So you basically got to tell a person what you want. A lot of women would deal with a man for the truth. If his sexual market value place is high, he got that much rope to hang himself. So a lot of times if a man go up to a woman and he got high sexual market value to the woman, because beauty is an eye of the beholder, and the man just gets straight up front, like, I ain't looking for nothing serious, but I really want to take you out. I want to kick it with you. So that's basically saying I want to have sex. And if a woman like that and like his value, his sexual market value, she'll be like, okay, let's go. But if he came up to her and said that, and he look like, and he don't match her sexual market value, she's gonna put him down as saying he's a creep. You know, a lot of times it goes off of beauty. Beauty is an eye of beholder. So man or woman, whoever you is, even when women step to me, if they sexual market value is very low, I'm gonna look at it like, damn, she thirsty. But if she nice looking and real nice looking and stuff, I'm gonna be like, damn, all right, she's straightforward, cool. I ain't gonna think I ain't gonna think she's crazy or nothing like that. But if it's opposite, if a man look like shit and he comes up to a woman and saying he want to do all these nasty things to her, she gonna think he a creep. But if he looks like, oh, I want to take him down regardless, then she give him a little bit more rope to hang himself. But then sometimes people are going off of personality. So those are the 5 reasons why I feel like men cheat. If you didn't get it right now, just go back to my video on YouTube, Stack 44, 5 reasons why men cheat. Now I'm gonna talk about another video on my YouTube channel, Stack 44. Do all men cheat? And now this is a pecking order of do all men cheat? You know, so the reason why I said do all men cheat is a question. It's always a ranking system in anybody's life, and anything we do is always a ranking system of, you know, from 10 to 9. That's what we always hear from from 1 to 10. You got the men that are 1s and 5s. You got the men that are 6s to 10s. It's always a scale. And where do you rank as a man to say that I have options? Because a lot of times men are only faithful into that as their options. A lot of times women don't understand that. A lot of people, period, are only faithful as their options. So when you faithful as your options and you are a man, do you live up to the expectation to understand a consequence when you deal with a good woman? So that's another video I did with it, is a man have a consequence when he deals with a good woman. So I'm gonna play a sound bite real quick. And if you want coming in from the other stream, I'm on Stack 44 on YouTube, and I'm about to play this sound bite of how a man feels when he have a consequence with a good woman. Okay, here we go. Back in the day, you were the man. Yeah. Back in the day, I was a man. So you said you don't think I'm the man anymore because I only got one woman. See, having nothing else bad around here, so it's like, with the leg there. Son, ain't a day goes by. I don't see some little dope change. I wouldn't mind taking a peek at her. But when I think about what me and Shirley got going, ain't nothing worth waiting for. All right, so if you didn't know what that clip was, that was a clip from A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, when Martin had talked to the club owner and asked him, do you think about cheating on your wife because you own the club, all these nice looking women running around here? And basically, I feel like a good man has a consequence. He understands that, but a good man has to be the man before he decides he wants to be married. For most of the men out there, I ain't gonna say all, because some men are cool with their high school sweetheart and they've been married to her for 30 years. But a lot of men has to be out there and play the field and understand what the ranking system is with dealing with women and men, understand what's a player and what's the truth about being a man. So a lot of times when a man understands the game and understands that dealing with a bunch of pennies and he'd rather have a quarter, that's basically breaking down. Like if you had if you had $1, you broke down 4/4 of a dollar, but then you deal with a lot of pennies. What's more valuable to you? Because a lot of times a man look at a woman like, if she brings me everything I need with the emotional support, the loyalty, the good sex, and she could cook a hot meal, and she could be a homemaker. Why would I mess that up for dealing with this woman, that woman, that woman? A lot of times, the best men in the world are the men that actually have a top tier in the ranking system. So let's get back to the ranking system. The ranking system goes from 1 to 10 with anything we do in this world. And a lot of times, men that are sevens, eights, nines, or considered tens, which it's hard for anybody to be a 10. I don't give a fuck if you're a woman or a man. Those men have they pick up women because, like I said, men are only faithful as their options. So a lot of times when men are only faithful as their options, they options are high. But like I said, man got to play the field sometimes to understand what their options are. But a woman need to come in and show that loyalty, show that encouragement, know how to stroke his ego to help him to keep him grounded, keep his foundation going, compliment him, not complicate him. A lot of times when women complicate men, that's when men feel like I can always do better, especially if they're up there top tier man between the sevens, eights, nines, and tens. The issue is when women date average men that haven't reached their sexual market value. Because a lot of times, man, what we do wrong is we're like dogs. We all, if you're loyal to us, most men are. If you're loyal to us, we will stay in the yard. We'll eat and drink from the bowl that you feed us every day. But if you show lack of attention, lack of feeding us, we'll eventually go off into another yard and stray away. So you have to, as a woman, have to be understanding, studying your man and understand who he is to keep him in tune with you. So that's my that's a little bit about the ranking system. A lot of times that men that are 1s to 5, those are the thirstiest men. The men that don't work on themselves all the way, the men that take their wallet, leave with money, and they just an average guy. Those guys may do everything for you, but he may have 2 or 3 that he wants to do for as well, so he can get his sexual appetite up there. Those guys would never reach the pinnacle of the best version of themselves because they sit back and they always feel like they can buy a person's love. They're empty inside. They feel like, me going to the gym or working on myself or grooming myself is not good enough. So make sure if you're a woman, you deal with a man that knows his sexual marketplace value and understand and express the game of what he been through and why he's single. Because a lot of times, even me, when I run into women come up to me and I tell them I've been divorced, and they ask me, what did I do? And then to me, that's really a disrespectful question, because why do it always have to be on the man? To me, at the end of the day, I will accept if you just say what happened. So why, what's going on? What happened with your relationship? And I accept that more than just you putting the blame on me and you don't even know me. So a lot of times, people have to understand, that things happen, and at the end of the day, a man gonna be a man, a woman gonna be a woman. But excuse me, you gotta be less thirsty in what you do when you deal with women, man, whatever. And I mean, you gotta be to deal with somebody that's on the same level as you. So if if you a man and you a 7 and you dealing with an 8 or a 9 as a woman, you probably can maintain her with your personality and your realness. But in today's age, sometimes a woman that's a 9, she feel like she can go get all type of options because of the social media and what the world is telling her. Like right now, a lot of times the bar for a man is set low because women are out there selling their bodies and their souls to America just to get $1. Like, so a lot of times with the ranking system is a man with a realistic expectation that consider himself at least a 7 or 8 or maybe a 6. He would rather be with an average woman because he knows the 8s, the 9s, and the 10s are gonna be the headache. They're gonna be the headache to the point that they're gonna get cheated on. But then at the same time, the dude that is a 7 and 8 has to understand what his lane is so he won't get cheated on. So that's another thing that goes on in the community that a lot of times people don't understand where they rank at. So a lot of times women end up cheating on men, men end up cheating on women, and it just goes all the way around. So I so that was the reasons of the ranking scale. I'll get back to the ranking scale in a minute. I'm gonna probably have somebody call in, have Mike call in when he get a chance. He asked me to text him when I was done with my lecture. Almost done with it. If you want to call in, you could call in. So, what stops a man from cheating on a woman? What can stop a man from cheating on a woman? It really is nothing. It's got to be inside the person of do they have values and morals for themselves. What up, Mike? What's going on with you? Do all men cheat, man? What you think about that?
Man, I honestly think that yeah, they do. I'll be honest with you. We do.
So
and the main reason why I say that is because it has to be something that either both sets us or something that the other individual is lacking to the point of where we figure, hey, if it ain't worth, if the juice ain't worth squeeze, I'm gonna go somewhere else to get that squeeze. I ain't gonna really stay with this one out here. The game's fulfilling my shit.
Yeah, you sound a little muffled today. You ain't really clear. You got something going on with the phone?
Hold on, let me call right back.
Yeah, call right back because it's like you're not clear enough. All right. Call right back. Yeah. Yeah, that was Mike. I mean, he said to him, he's feel like all men do cheat in today's age. I mean, I got an opinion. I think it's a percentage of men that cheat, and it's a percentage of men that don't cheat. So it is what it is. It's a catch-20 on that. So here we go. Let's see. Yeah, Mike. Hold on, real quick. All right.
Am I clear now?
Oh yeah, you loud and clear now, buddy.
Alright. Yeah, but like you were saying from before, with the question and shit, do men cheat? Yeah, we do cheat. It has to be either something that individual has, offsetted us to what they're lacking, or something like that to that nature, to where we figure we could go someplace else to get it. It is what it is. If that person ain't fulfilling a need, and we feel like we wasting our time, then of course we're gonna go to where the shit is. Like for example, most of these chicks nowadays, they can't cook. So what happens? You get another chick that cook. That means it's gonna go to where the food is at. It's just what it is.
Facts. So I did a scale where I went over the scale of why men cheat, and I did a video on that, and I featured Tyrese when he was on Baby Boy, and he basically snuck out with a coworker to try and hook up with her, and I used that as the opening clip, and then I end up breaking down 5 reasons why men cheat. And the first reason, and I'll ask you if you agree, do a lot of times men will settle for the safety net woman, but her sex is not on point, or the sex ain't with the sex how you used to have it. So like I say, a lot of times I feel like men don't go back sexually and women don't go back in lifestyle. But for a man, if a woman's not bringing the good sex in a relationship, he's going to eventually sneak out. How you feel about that?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely for sure. If the chick if she got her money and everything on point and her sex ain't right, trust me, that dude is gonna be like, well, shit, I gotta go to where the good shit is, because there's no sense for me to stay here and ain't nothing going on. You know what I mean? And that's just the way that it is.
Yes. That is a key. Like I would never be with somebody that can't satisfy me mentally, physically, or emotionally. Like a lot of times guys sell themselves short because they don't know their own selves and stuff. Like you gotta be the best version of you before you even want to enter into anybody or be with anybody, period. And a lot of times people don't understand that. So But moving on to number 4, which is the emotionally unattached. Like it be dudes out here that be emotionally unattached to themselves, so they use women as placeholders for their love, or who they actually they use them for, like like they use women to fulfill a void by not working on themselves. How you feel about that? Do you agree with that one?
I mean, a lot of these dudes do. A lot of these dudes nowadays, they dress, they act like they're successful. They dress and put off a facade that they are successful, and they haven't even worked on themselves. So they use those chicks as like a crutch to leech off of and shit like that, and they just use them to fulfill that void, by using them and not working on themselves. I believe that every man that fell down at one point at the lowest point of his life does have the ability to work on himself, but a majority of the time, the dudes that's out today, the millennials, they choose not to. They figure, well, I'm gonna let the woman do it, and I'm gonna benefit off of her. And now what happens when he leaves and goes off to be with an even more successful woman since he dumped that chick? Now he's off to be with somebody else, and now that chick is gonna be, damaged goods to go to the next man. And she's gonna be like, why a lot of dudes don't want me? It's because of that endless cycle of bullshit that's going on that a lot of these dudes do play. I'm gonna keep it 100.
So with that being said, do you feel like the self improvement is the number one thing that men or women should do before they even worry about relationship, right?
Hell fucking yeah. Hell yeah. Maybe the reason why I say that is because you right about that. Because if the self improvement ain't there, you're gonna be stuck in a place where it's stagnant. There's not gonna be any production going on made for yourself. And what happens is you get in a relationship and you're already stagnant, then that relationship ain't even gonna grow because you haven't even improved on yourself. And when you're improving on yourself, it doesn't stop. If you ever hit a plateau or hit a point where you're like, oh man, everything is still, you have to keep still improving. That way, when you work on yourself, that person could somehow get that same positive vibes, that energy, and let it carry on to them. That way, you both develop something good.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. All right, so my number 3 on that list was sometimes guys hate to be a breakup. They don't want to, like, they in a relationship, they get emotionally unattached. They know the woman is in love with them, and sometimes the good old saying is sometimes don't mess up your for sure trying to get some more, but then sometimes guys be on trying to get some more, but then they rather for a woman to they rather sabotage that whole situation so a woman could break up with them when they was really done with them. Sometimes guys are cowards and they would jump on texting, because women do it too. A lot of times people break up with people off of text. So how you feel like how you feel? Do you think people should like hate being a breakup person, or a person like what would you do when you move on from a woman, Mike?
What I did was when I moved on from a woman, and I would say after my first relationship, they tried to really destroy me. As far as my second, I think that would be with my second baby mother. She tried to destroy me in a different way. Like, she would make mistakes on purpose in order to kind of like chase me away. Because she knew that would repel me because I was always a productive person. A productive individual hates counterproductivity. Now, if a person's talking about, we're in a relationship and you're on the road to
Hold on, Mike. We got another call coming in. Hello? Hello?
What's going on, boy?
Big Rich, what's going on?
Oh man, I ain't just doing it, man. I caught you, sneaking up on me on a Tuesday night. I didn't even know you was on, man.
Yeah, man. I'm on. Like I said, I was on vacation. I've been feeling myself, so I didn't do Sunday. But Mike was in the middle of something. My bad, Mike. Sorry for cutting you off. Jump back in. You said.
What's going on with you, brother?
Same old shit, different toilet, man. Just over here, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling. But
hey man, keep spitting that game, brother. I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
I hear that shit. Nah, but we was talking on a situation where, you know, what kind of how did you handle, you know, doing that as far as being in a relationship when shit went south? Me, I decided to work on myself, and I noticed with breaking up in a relationship with a person that was counterproductive, it's always best to just work on yourself, because when you work on yourself and that individual can't, you know, fathom the thought of you being productive, when they leave, it won't even slow you down. Yeah, it'll hurt you emotionally, but when you are being productive, you'll be so busy being productive that when they decide to leave, it won't even affect you, and you already have some other shit lined up. That's what I was always saying.
So
100%, brother. I couldn't say it no better, man. I mean, because when you look at it, that's a weak way to go out, to just go ahead and just up and go, because you ain't really doing, you still leave yourself empty. You know, but by doing what you're saying, you're talking about working on yourself, man. That's the whole thing that we should have been doing ourselves in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And then we wouldn't seek that validation from no old coochie, no new coochie, no coochie period. You know what I'm saying? That's going to come when we the best version of ourselves. That's going to come all day long, brother.
Exactly. So like, how you feel about Big Rich? How you feel about when people break up with people on text messages and stuff like that? Do you feel like that's the weakest way you can break up with a person or a woman or a man or vice versa?
Brother, I really honestly, you know what I'm saying, and I know people do things all kind of ways. Me, I look at it as cowardice, man. You know, I mean, it's like this. I can stand up to a man and say whatever I got to say about an issue. And dealing with a woman is the same way. Why would I be afraid to tell her? Like, look at it, because when it comes down to it, you make that decision. You're pulling the trigger on the relationship because you're doing the best thing for yourself.
Facts.
So why would you be afraid of that, or even try to avoid it? Anything that you're trying to avoid in life, to me, that means you're afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that you're afraid of, man, you give that thing, whatever it is you're afraid of, you give it power.
Yes.
I'm not giving no woman no power over me. I'm not giving any, how can I say it, any feeling of, going without. I'm not going to let none of that stuff put any pressure on me, put any fear into me to where I just give it all the power and I don't want to do it. So if I make a decision, man, I'm going to tell you straight out. If it's got to be in person, it can be in person. But I'd rather just tell you in my own words. If it's got to be over the phone or get a text, shoot the phone call and have that conversation, man.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Because you know what, bro? It didn't end just being anything. It's been going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Behind the scenes.
Exactly. So most of the time, the conversation has already been had. So at that point, why be shy about it to send a text or whatever? After you do it, have that conversation, man, and go ahead and ghost, man, and work on yourself.
So,
you know what, Rich? You're right. Because before the relationship ends, more than likely, with anyone, whether it be male or female, 9 times out of 10, unless the relationship is real fucked up and you just gotta leave it, sometimes, more than likely, there was somebody that was doing that orbiting shit and that had already someone else before the sheet got cut off.
Exactly.
Real shit.
Yeah, a lot of times people will like don't want to be the heartbreaker. So unfortunately, in that situation, I know women do it more than men. Women would line up a replacement and then she'll break up with a dude or go deuces on that text message or vice versa. Sometimes you got men these days, they'll line up a new woman and then they'll dip on a woman. Like, you know, in this day and age, it's very savage for men and women to like get along, because at the end of the day, with all this social media and these dating apps, a lot of times people feel like they have plenty of options, and they really don't, because the best option is loving yourself before you love anybody else. you know.
Absolutely, bro.
So,
Yeah.
so how you feel about men that don't reach their sexual appetite, but then they force themselves into a relationship? I'm gonna start with Mike. Because a
Well,
lot of guys do that because they want guaranteed sex, but they're not fulfilled with dealing with multiple women. That's why a lot of cheating happens too. And, you know, be honest, you know, I'm gonna hold the mirror, you know, I hold the mirror to my people, you know, because that is true, you know. So how you feel about that, Mike?
Well, if they're not with that individual because they want to be with that individual and they just want to be with them just for the sex or any kind of benefits, then that's the worst, because as quickly as you use someone like that, you could get it coming back to you tenfold. Or if you do happen to meet the next chick and go to the next chick and then go to the next chick and then go to the next chick, you're just burning yourself out, because that's not what you really want. If you don't really want that or don't really want to be with that person, then stop doing it, because by doing that, you're holding their progress up from actually meeting who they want to meet, but they're underneath the rouge, the smoke and mirrors that you actually like being with them. And it's always best to just work on yourself. If you know you don't want to be with that person, then just don't do it. Don't. Because karma's a bitch.
Preach.
So should a man actually have a standard of what type of appetite he want to hit sexually with a woman? I'm gonna ask both of y'all that question. Like, should you be like to the point that, you know, like they say a man should soil his raw oats before he even want to get married? Should it be a number where a man, because everything, you know, every beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or whatever your contentment as a man is. Should you ever, as a man, should you feel like I got to enough, that I had enough, so then I want to, you know, settle down? Should a man feel like that, or do you guys feel like that as men? That did you have enough before you get married?
The whole thing is, man, you definitely want to be prepared and be sure that that's the thing you want to do when you consider it being married. Because, like Mike said before, man, you're not just dealing with yourself. You have to be ultimately fair to yourself, and you have to be fair to the other person if you're going to be a stand-up guy. And that's no shame in language on men saying, well, you have to give a woman this, you have to give a woman that. But if she deserves it, you owe it to her to be truthful with her. So if you're going to be like that, and you think that you're going to be out there still doing your thing, whatever, I think that you need to go ahead and just back away from that thing. I mean, there's so many times it's not. I feel like at this point in my life, it's a young man's problem, because right now where I'm at, I don't like to play them kind of games, because if I meet a young lady that I think I want to rock with her, I go ahead and rock with her. But if I see something that I like and I want to hit that, I'm gonna just approach her on getting some of that pussy, and that's it. but you know what I'm saying? But if you want to progress with somebody and you want to have a life with somebody, to be fair to them and to be fair with yourself, because like Mike said, you playing a game with yourself. If you proceed with that kind of thing and you go ahead with it, you're causing yourself all kind of problems. Not only yourself, but you're causing that person all kind of problems. And anything that comes from that, say children, or there's families involved, there's friends involved, there's all kind of things involved. It's just not a righteous way to move. So I do think that you need to be for sure when you decide that you want to pull the trigger and make that kind of commitment, man, because you're not only making a commitment to yourself, but you're making a commitment to her. You're making a commitment to God, man, when you do that. Yeah. So I don't think that's something to play with, man. You ought to be for sure when you do it.
Even before marriage, you should have that same mindset as well, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Because, man, the whole thing with marriage is, at this point in my life, I wouldn't do it again. I've been there, done that. You know, we talked about my story and all like that, but the whole thing is that institution of marriage is a holy thing, man. I look at it as a holy thing. That's an institution of God. So if to approach that, you got to have the ultimate respect for that.
Exactly.
You know, and you bringing that into someone else's life. It's a commitment to not only her. It's a commitment to God. You're doing it in front of everybody else. So that's something that you really need to can't play with that, man. You You can't play with that. That's just my opinion, but you can't play with that.
Okay, so do y'all? I'm gonna hey, well, y'all mute y'all phones for a quick second. I'm gonna play a clip of what a man has to uphold for a woman to actually, to understand. Because I don't think women understand the pressure of man. So I'm about to play this clip, and if you're on the other stream, we're on Stack 44 at YouTube, and I'm gonna play this clip of how much that a man has to do to please a woman.
So somehow you're gonna tell us that the bar is low when the requirements to become a husband are to provide for a household financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You have to be good in the bedroom, you have to pay the bills, you have to feed your kids, you have to feed your wife. You have to give her the materialistic things that she wants and provide emotional support. And if you can't do simply one of those things, she'll leave you. Meanwhile, all we ask is for a woman who will bear with us while we try to do those things for them. And just don't lie to us. And half of y'all nowadays can't even do that. And just when we thought the bar was set low enough, y'all decide, my body, my choice. So now the one thing that we did have to ourselves, which was that sacred temple, y'all put it on OnlyFans. Are you for real talking about the bar being set low?
All right, guys, what y'all think about that?
Oh man, he definitely what he's talking about is true in one aspect, but he got an issue with whoever that woman is he dealing with, Zach. Because you know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to that, that's the things you got to make choices on, man. Because he seems like, I don't want to say because all the stuff out there. Well, who hurt you, man? Who hurt you? Why you acting like you? At this point, I'm listening to that, man. It's definitely been through some things.
Yeah,
and it's true. A woman can take you down through there, bro. But that has more to do with your decision, man. Because it all starts and ends with the man.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, but what he was talking about with all the pressure we have, I get the part when he was talking about, lashing out on a woman that you go to fans only and all that. But the pressure as a man, do women really understand how much pressure we have to uphold the household and all the extra of being a leader?
Absolutely not.
Do women applaud that, and do they replenish you to go out there and want to do it every day? Like, it's just like your car. You got to put the oil in it. You got to put the gas in it. It has to be replenished to keep doing, doing the job to get you back from point A to point B to make sure everything you survive. Your transportation in this world is just like your shelter. It's your survival. So as a woman, do a woman understand how much a man has to go through to replenish
Absolutely
him?
Not. No, I don't think that they can. I don't think that they're built that way that they can understand it. Now, do they appreciate it? That's a relative term, but I believe that a good one will take notice of it. And that, again, that sits back in our lap to what we're willing to accept and the caliber of the woman that we're dealing with. But does she understand all that? She really can't understand that, because if she could understand it, she could do it. That's where our job as a man come in.
Facts.
We gotta be that guy. We have to be that rock that she can lean on, because they are. I know a lot of them take offense to this, but they are the weaker sex. They're the fair species.
They're the fair sex, yes.
The things that we're talking about doing right now, those are things that's a man's domain. And a man has to take care of that. So you can't put pressure on that and say, well, it's unfair to them to say, well, she don't understand that I got this going on and I got this pressure, that pressure, because she wasn't built to understand it. She was built to receive the energy that you provide from all that. She was built to receive the rewards from all your efforts as far as that. But do she understand that? Hell no, she don't understand it.
If you come in, hold on real quick. If you want to call in, go to Stack 44 on YouTube, and the number's there. You can call in and get your 2 cents in, sweetheart. Because she said some women, I guess it's not fair It's not all of us. And we're not saying we never sit here and say all women.
No, man. This ain't a bashing women's space right here, man. We trying to uplift the people.
Yeah. So go to Stack 44, get the number, call in, girl, and we can talk about it, and we'll give you the floor to say what you got to say. But
that's right. Yeah.
That's the reason why we have these call-in shows, is for everybody to come in and get their 2 cents in. And the reason why I played that clip is sometimes men are held to a certain standard and pressure, and then when they get home and a wife is not, if it's not living up to the wife's standards, she might not want to give her body to her husband, and then his release is his wife. A lot of times women don't understand that you basically what you pour into a man, he's gonna want to go out and do and conquer the world if he's a real man. If he's not a real man, then you got something different. But if he's a real stand-up guy and you pour into him, he's gonna work just that much harder. And the last thing you should do is withhold sex or encouragement or understand how to stroke his ego. Because if you don't stroke his ego good enough, and it goes on for a period of time when you expect him to be something that he's not, or have unrealistic expectations for the man, eventually he's going to go out and find something else or start cheating. So that's why I really played that clip. Is a lot of pressure on the man and a woman if he's doing all these things and it still ain't good enough, because there's some men that go out there and conquer the world, and a woman realize after woman get through the wedding portion of the marriage and all the validation that to say I got the ring, it's not cracked up as what she thought it to be, and he out there, he happy as hell because we're simple creatures. Then we end up getting cheated on, or we ended up coming home to no hot meal, no sex, because she think marriage is this old big old. I mean, something bigger than what she don't. Her expectations be way too high, and
exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
After the honeymoon stage.
Yeah, after the honeymoon stage, it's just regular life. You have a provider and a protector. That's far as it pretty much really goes. And some women feel like marriage is the end all be all. It's about what y'all do within that covenant and that foundation together to grow. And you can't put him on a pedestal and say he may be the head of the relationship, but at the end of the day, you and him work as a unit to make sure y'all have a happy life. You know what I mean?
No truer words ever been said. Stack you right on as far as that go, brother, because see what they get mixed up, and even men get it mixed up. What you just described was a marriage, but all they're focused on sometimes is a wedding. You know, they want to be a bride, but a bride is just for that day.
Yes.
A wife, that's forever.
Yes.
That's a commitment. So being that if this is what you really want, you got to make up in your mind that that's what you really want, because the honeymoon phase in, and then you down to real life, brother, and it's about sacrifice a lot of the times, man.
Yeah.
Another thing too is I'm gonna just
go ahead, Mike.
A lot of chicks nowadays, they talk about marriage, they speak on marriage, and not a lot of them put in that work. So if you ever heard a woman talk about marriage or a female talk about marriage, ask her why does she want to get married. If she's giving you unrealistic expectations without putting in the work, and you don't see that she's putting in the work at all, then don't even fuck with her. She wants it just for that, but not willing to put in the work. When you're married or in a relationship, or regardless of whatever it is that you do, you have to make sacrifices. There's certain things that you're going to have to give up. There's certain things that you're going to have to do for that other person in order to make it work, and that's just out of respect. If you don't have no respect for the relationship, then it's not going to work.
Facts.
A lot of times,
that's why we got to put them through the paces at first, man, and not just jump to it. We got to take our time with that, man, because you get into something, you can see the signs before it comes if you slow down and smell the flowers, if you just observe. You know, because a lot of times it'll be these big glaring red flags, these big flashing signs. But if you all caught up in the lovey-dovey thing, which is a woman's domain with the emotions, then you won't see these things coming. But if you put them through their paces, and like you say, you don't see the respect, you said it, brother. It starts and ends with you. It's time for you to go ahead and cut that anchor loose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of times women, I don't think they understand if you give a man an experience that he can't turn down and stay consistent with it and understand the study of a man, because the world is so dysfunctional with all the distractions, because at the end of the day, uh, a man, just like if you're a child, if you have a boy and a girl, the girl's gonna lean towards the father, the boy's gonna lean towards the mother. In the world today, a woman needs a man needs a woman. But when you're diluted with all this Instagram, Facebook, fans only, all these things, it stops a woman from understanding what she needs from a man. And vice versa, it stops for a man to understand what he needs from a woman. So if you just sit back and study to give a person a once in a lifetime experience as a man and as a woman, and they meet that emotional connection, that spiritual connection, and everything. What else do you have? Just like I said, a man will have a consequence when dealing with a good woman. Because I just played the clip from A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, when Martin was like, "Man, you don't want to hit nothing out here." And he's like, "Man, when I think about what me and my wife got, ain't nothing in the world gonna make me leave my wife for a piece of ass." But that's a man talking with experience, and he understands the woman that he's with is not gonna complicate his life by being on social media shaking her ass. She has some type of value that she upholds on top of everything that the love they have, that makes him feel that she's the one. So for me, like I say, I feel like at this day and age, out of every 10 men, I'll say 7 out of 10 men will cheat. Be honest, the way what the world going on. But it's that 30% of a man that understand who he is and who God is, and what a covenant is when he with a woman, to understand and stop him from cheating. You know what I mean? So that's why my channel's out here. You know, it's because I want to teach my guys that come over here, or the ladies that come over here, that it is good people in this world, and we have to understand to use the phone as a tool, not as a distraction or something that destroys us.
Right. I believe that's staggering. You're doing it right, man. How you doing it, man? Because like I say, that's one of the things I respect about you in this channel, is it's not no female fashion space.
Nah.
You know, it's a rare thing to find a good woman, but it's also a rare thing to find a decent dude too. So we feel their pressure and the things that they go through, whatever. But it's all about uplifting the people, man, and you need both sides to do it.
Yeah, and then sometimes I feel like women, the majority will cheat, and a lot of times women get stuck on the majority, because at the end of the day, all you need is one. All you need is one. All you need is one. And the issue with what kind of like brainwash women is validation, likes, all these things that trigger you validation, because that one man can't apply for the 1,000 likes you may get on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. But that one man, are you cool with one like compared to 10,000 likes? That's what it comes down to. If you really want to be married, only one like matters, not 10,000 likes, not 1 million likes. One like matters, because if you can't accept that one like over 10,000 likes, you're not ready to be married. That's another thing that women don't look at, and men too. You got to understand that only like that matters is that one like. So I ain't got all preaching into this, but yeah.
Preach on, brother. Preach on.
Cause for real, like, are you when you find that one, are you still gonna be looking for likes as a woman? Are you still gonna be looking likes for a man? You should only care about that
if you're
one.
still looking, that means you can't never be satisfied anyway.
Because I ain't gonna lie, the biggest thing about anybody that wants a relationship or be in a relationship, you have to break up with yourself first before you can give yourself to anybody else. What I mean by that is you have to break up with the knowing that I can go out here and talk to this chick, or that guy, that guy. You gotta be real with yourself. You gotta. That's why it's so smart to just go out and do the work yourself. You go out and do the work yourself, people will recognize the realness on you when you do the work yourself. You love yourself. I remember sometimes women ask me like, why am I single? Because I really work on myself and I take my time, and I haven't met nobody that vibes off the energy that I have. Not saying people are bad, but it's not easy in this day and age. Back in the day, in the 70s, 80s, if you talking this type of vibe, or like we talking being a stand-up guy, that was the thing to do. Now it's the opposite. It's like, so the rare guys that are available to be committed, those guys, they don't, we're a rare breed. So back in the day when there wasn't no social media, now that was a question to ask, why are you single? You know what I mean? Then you'll think something wrong. But now it's flipped. It's the opposite. When you got somebody, people be surprised. When you ain't got nobody, it's the opposite. Basically, it's easier for a good man and good women to walk around here single compared to back in the day. Back in the day,
and a lot of times it's a whole lot more healthy to be that way too, brother.
Yeah,
it's bizarro world out here now, man.
Oh, for real. Because once me, if people that follow my channel like you guys, I dig in deep when I talk to a female, and if you can't get my mind going, I'm not even want to even have sex with you. So so I don't even care how good you look.
And that takes an amount of maturity, man, and experience to get there in life. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. I listen to Mike talk, and that's where he's at. It's not it's a cheap, superficial thing if there's no depth behind it. Yeah. You ain't got nothing else to bring along with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you really low value if that's all that you out here for is the sex aspect of it anyway. Because let's be for real on this now. And hey, look, I'm older than both y'all, man. Like I said, man, I love to stab me a piece every now and then. But I tell you what, after you've been with somebody for so while, that sex aspect of it, I don't care how hot and heavy it starts, that's going to wane. That's going to get less and less as you go on. So you got to have something else in there to sustain that thing, man, and make it work. Yeah. Because it's not a honeymoon forever.
Yeah, it's not a honeymoon forever. And even when you have sex with multiple women, you find yourself putting the same women in the same positions, same this, same that. But is she really putting you? As her mind and her body and the nurturing of what she do for you or what you do for her? Is it actually reflecting off each other to the point that that it makes it's replenishing both of y'all and making y'all both be fulfilled outside the bedroom? That's what makes it work in the long run. I mean, I ain't gonna say sex is not important, because I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be, you gotta kind of want to have that mind, that body, that spirit, that soul thing that puts you into being together. But does all the other things work to make you stay whole with that person? Because that's like you say, sex can run dry after a while. I don't care who you are. You got more than just that. Can we, I don't get tired listening to you guys. I need a woman that I'm not gonna get tired to learn from, working, doing stuff for, everything. So a woman gotta be that person that understands you mentally, physically, emotionally, all that.
Right.
And a lot of times in this day and age with the social media, women don't Like, I meet women that just only want to text. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't hold a conversation. I can't deal with you.
Right, exactly, man. Exactly. Because you ain't bringing nothing more to say. And I really wish a whole lot more females would call in on this show, man, and give us a little perspective of what they feeling. Because like I said, it's not about bashing females. I mean, just as rare as it good dudes out here, there's only a few good females out here that we need to hear their side of the things, what's going on.
I got a question.
You know, what do they value?
I got a question in the chat. He had basically asked me, do you think you can marry a woman if she cheats before y'all get married?
Hell no.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you, because that's just like I can't be with a woman that's gonna cheat on me before marriage, because basically she felt like it was a better deal down the line, so she decided to cheat, and she decided to put me in as a safety net. So
and she gonna keep doing this, Stack. You know she gonna keep doing.
Yeah, so I can't.
Do that shit again.
Yeah.
Get rid of that bitch.
Yeah.
No doubt. What's up, Golden Child? How you doing, brother?
Boy, Golden Child in the building. What's going on? I see China came through. I don't know if she's still in there. I wish she'd call in.
Yeah, it would be good to get China's perspective, wouldn't it, though?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. But I mean, you know, we got enough going on. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna be doing this tomorrow night too. So we're gonna talk about something else. I don't know if anybody got any suggestions, because I can pull something up. But if y'all want to get any suggestions of what y'all want to talk about tomorrow night, I definitely will write it down and we can just jump on in.
Right. I don't know, brother. Okay. You know I'm down for the ride. What you think, Mike?
You got any suggestions, or I just, I'll pull something up. You know, I always do.
I'm with it.
All right. Let me know. Okay, I'm just saying, do you got any topic you want to talk about? And we could talk about that tomorrow night.
All right. If a chick can't hold the conversation, or if she feel like, hey, I just want to go about doing this the way I want to, and I'm gonna cheat before I get married, you don't want to be she's showing you already who she is. Same thing with the dude. If the dude say, hey man, I want to fuck around, but I'm gonna fuck around before we get married and all this other shit, then that's just being disloyal as a motherfucker. Like,
okay, so my man Tony said, do you if a woman cheat in her past, not on you, but if she cheated on her past?
Him out there, I see it with that question. Well, check this out, man. I'll tell you like this. For me, if it ain't with you, how you gonna, if you see that she ain't you gotta vet her real well and see that it's not a habitual thing. But if she did it in the past, you done did some dirt in your past too. So they also get somebody that did something 1 or 2 times or whatever, and they've grown and they've matured out of that phase of life, man. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of years I was a hoe. I was a big hoe for a lot of years, man. So I believe that it's not a bad thing. If she did it in her past, there was some infidelity somewhere, and it wasn't with you, I can forgive her for that. Because how can you hold it against her?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
you think that she hasn't done it anyway. Delusional.
We all have fell short, and we all have cheated on somebody. So I thought he was talking. I thought he was talking about if we was like engaged or boyfriend, girlfriend, she cheated on me, would I go back and marry her? No, hell no. I just can't do it. I can't do that one. But everybody has did some type of dirt before, and maturity, and like I said earlier with my video I did earlier today, the race and the chase stops with the experience. When you in this race and you have a chase for things in life, but when you become experienced, you understand for the world for what it is. And once you understand the world for what it is, then you understand that people gonna make mistakes. It's about moving forward and finding out who living in their truth now, because nobody lives in their truth from day one. We have to work into our truth.
Right.
Yep. So that's one of the main things that I feel like that helps us the experience of life would always help us humble ourselves moving forward. Q Knox in the building.
My nigga Q Knox done came up in here, man.
What's up, Q Knox?
Q Knox and Gold Child up in there. We got all the homies in here tonight. What's happening, y'all?
What's going on? But yeah, you know, it seems like the women sometimes be scared to call it, but it's all good. So, Mike, do you feel like now I did say it's a ranking system, guys, on how women basically vet, or how men should vet women, or vice versa. If a man is like considered an average guy of 5, and he cops a 3, but then a 7 is giving him attention, I feel like men are faithful as far as their options go. Do you feel that like that, Big Rich?
As far as now, run that past here.
Okay, so like you said, like a lot of men that are like, I say we break down the scale from 1 to 5 to 6 to 7, and say if a man is a 4 on the look size, and he dates a woman that's like a 7. I mean, he dates a woman that's like a 3, that's a little bit below him, but then he gets attention from a 7, and he's gonna want to deal with the woman. Eventually, he's gonna want to be like, you know, I got this 3 over here, she's my safety net, but I got this 7 showing me attention. It really depends on the guy, but that's why I try to break down, why do men cheat. If a man that's a 4 that's not in tune with himself, is not good with his sexual marketplace value, is not all the way in there, he's gonna jump into dealing with the 7 over the 3 because he's still thirsty. How you feel about that?
Well, man, to tell you the honest to God truth, if you just gonna jump at that 7 just on the sexual tip, the attraction tip, then you playing yourself. Because it ain't even about the character at that point. If that girl that's a 4 that you with is really holding you down, you know, and I understand, and I understand about the physical thing or whatever, but there's all you gotta understand. It don't matter whether you married, that you go for a 9 or a 10. It's always gonna be a badder bitch that's gonna come in your eyesight. So if you're thinking on it just a purely physical level, then you're playing yourself, man. But if that girl that's a 4, she ain't bringing nothing else to the table but the way she look, I can't see where it will be nothing wrong with jumping, because you got to better yourself, but not just on the terms of sex, man. If it's just on the terms of sex, I stay with that 4 that's treating me well and appreciates what I do and at least hold me down in what I do, then jump for that 7. And I don't know nothing about her. Yeah, it looks like something good, but I don't know nothing about that broad, and she ain't proved nothing to me. This other one over here that's with me, she done earned it already.
But so that's what I'm. Yeah, you right on spot on with that. But I think that's what men do not understand. That's when they don't understand their value, or the value of people that they're dealing with. A lot of times, that's what happens on the scale on all sides. Even if you a 7 as a man and you dating a 9, and then you dating a 5 and you a 7 as a man, and then a 9 comes along trying to throw you choosing signals, you know, and that's what's wrong with the world today. Everybody feel like they can do better. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just worry about staying in their lane and knowing their lane, and staying loyal to their own selves.
No doubt, man. The Gold Child said it's not about the beauty of the ish, it's the duty of the ish, man. Real talk.
Facts.
Wow. Gold, man.
Hold on, we got another caller coming in. Let's see.
Me personally, myself.
Hold on, Mike. We got another caller going in. What's up, man? It's Tony.
Hello.
Oh, we got a lady.
Yes, I was calling in. My boyfriend wanted me to call.
Okay. So what you got on the topic tonight?
What's the topic?
What you got on the topic?
You was talking about do all men cheat?
Yep.
And I don't think they all cheat physically, but it's gonna be some form of, phone, social media type.
So you think you think when a man looks at Instagram or Facebook or watch a woman twerking her booty that's cheating?
If they reach out and contact, yeah, I would say yeah.
That's facts. So you saying if they have bad intentions and they're not coming in good faith and they're reaching out and they're showing the action, that's cheating.
Yes.
Okay. I agree. Do you agree, Will? Rich, Big Rich?
Yeah, man, it's like I said, that's another thing that it depends on the maturity of the dude. That could be for either sex, man, but those kind of things definitely go on. And I seen a video not too long ago, Black Ram talking about the micro cheat. You know what I mean? And then those kind of things happen, but that's about the maturity. If you focused on what you're supposed to be focused on, a mature man is going to be a little too busy for all them games.
Facts.
Right.
And a woman on her purpose, at the same token, going to be too busy for all them games.
Facts.
So that's about what you're ready for.
Yep, she's going to go right around that shit. She's going to be like, well, I already seen that, been there, done that. Nah, I'm on something more serious next. And then same thing with the dude. If a chick approaches a dude or he sees that what she's all about, he's going to do like the same shit that the females do. You know what I'm saying? It's called the head to toe check. Okay, hair right. Okay, body right. She stays in the gym and shit. Okay, it's her feet right. You know what I'm saying? And then when you see that everything's right and everything checks out, we're going to see how you talk. We're going to be like, oh, hello, how you doing? We might just figure out some bullshit-ass conversation with you just out of the blue. And depending on how you react, you're automatically going to be able to tell if you're a hood, uncivil, ignorant individual. And we won't deal with you. Even as men, we won't deal with you. We'll just be like, man, let me go and see what's in the fucking milk carton aisle and shit. I need to get away from that bullshit. I'm getting my shit done. Oh, nah. Oh, wait, you breastfeed too? Or you got some other shit going around? You talking about, hey, yeah, girl, you real loud? Oh, no. We don't want that kind of attention joined to us. We will avoid any situation. We will duck off. We'd be like, yo, hold on a second. I got a call. And we would just disappear.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? We don't want those kind of problems. Some people do. But if it's on a serious situation, if we're like, yo, she look good, you know what I'm saying? She all right. Let me go ahead and see where she at. You're like, hey, how you doing? Shit. Hey, now, yeah. Yo, I'll check you later. So, yeah.
Okay, I had a question for the young lady. Do you feel like, are you in a relationship? Well, you did say your man you called. So can you trade phones with your man for about 2 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, because a lot of times women can't do that. Women can't give a man. I used to say more than like a day. I used to tell women that a long time ago. My homegirl had a call-in show, and I feel like you really want to test a man. I was in Akron at the time, Rich. I was going to school at Akron, but a young lady at Cleveland State, she was on the radio. And she had a show about relationships. And I was like, if you want to stir some things up, ask a man and a woman to trade each other's phones for a day because they should have the same friends, what's the name? And if they, you know what I mean? Because really your phone tells if you're faithful or not, period.
Like, it ain't no greater test than that, man. That's on everything, you know what I'm saying? Because what you got to hide, either one of you, the man or the woman.
So if you know you could do that, then you got something solid. But at the end of the day, I feel like what you was asking, a man gonna look. But like I feel like back in the day, my mom used to run game on my dad. It was funny because she told me she was like my mom used to be out with my dad, and if my mom see an attractive woman or a woman with a nice butt, my mama would say, damn, Charles, look at that woman with that fat ass. And my dad looked like, all right, because she'll beat him to the punch. Because at the end of the day, she know that men are visual. Looking don't mean we're gonna actually jump into it. And that's another thing that when you a man and you done had the different flavors of women, you have them petite, you have them big, you have them thick, you have them athletic and all that. When you live that and then you choose a woman to be your woman, be your wife, your appetite for those type of women has went away because you chose to be with her. And a lot of times women need to understand that if he chooses to be with you, then he's there for you. A lot of times women get confused because a lot of times if you're in a relationship and you're forcing your man to be in a relationship, then that's when the problem come along. If he asks, I don't know your name, young lady, but if he asks to be with you, then you don't have nothing to really to worry about as long as he show the respect and show the consistency of being and you being number one. But if he doesn't show that and you had to force him to be with you, then that's a red flag in the first place.
That's right.
Huh?
I said that's right. So far, so good. I'm sorry to cut off, but I have to go to work. But Tony Moan said he loved you and he missed you, and I thank you for taking my call.
Okay, tell him I come to Vegas. I'm gonna hook him up, hook up with him.
Okay, then I'll let him know.
All right.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that was a good call. I mean, that was a good question. I mean, sometimes women don't understand that a man will look, but that don't mean we want to jump into something, And a lot of times women, I mean, I get it. Women can be insecure because of maybe of the options a man could have in this day and age, because it's a lot of women want what you want, but that don't mean they can get what you want. And that energy of worrying about that with your man all should go away. The energies you should have is focusing on how do I get him to stay focused. I mean, I remember if a man doing everything he was supposed to do, I did a video on basically a woman appeals to the alpha male. And I'll use the clip of Goodfellas when his wife was like, baby, I need some money to go shopping. He provided and gave her the money. Then right then and there, she got on her knees and say, before you leave, I'm about to do this favor for you. So
that's right.
Women don't understand that you can play the game to understand how to keep your man in tune. Like you going out with the boys, if he tell you on Tuesday, I'm going out with the boys, and her mind says like, I'm gonna give him some before he go out.
That's right.
Instead of acting like when I was married, I used to have my wife knowing I'm about to go out, she acting like the bitch because she worried about how many other women gonna look at me.
Exactly. When
she should have been like, okay. When she could have been like, I'm gonna break him off a little something. I'm gonna give him a little tease, and then when he get out there, he get into because we all get out with our boys and get out with strangers and shit. And then after a certain time, we get into this dull moment as men. We might not say it to each other like, man, I'd rather be back at the crib. But if you get into that dull moment and you leave the crib and your wife is acting like a bitch, or your girlfriend acting like a bitch, you out there like, well, fuck, I'm going to go home to this mean, evil motherfucker, so why should I go home? But that's the truth, though. They control what you need to replenish you. If they, like I said, if they grab on it, suck on it, or give you some, or do something saying I want you back home, your ass gonna be thinking about, hey man, this shit boring. But if you get out, if she set the mode of how you react while you out. If she acts like a bitch, you're gonna want to stay out more. If she acts very cooperative, you're gonna want to come home. Period. That's easy. But women don't understand that. They think they too worried about the competition and don't realize there ain't no competition if that man chose for you to be the woman.
Right.
And especially if he's a select guy, that means he has his pick of the litter. It's more women than men.
Exactly. She should be doing what she worked with to get you in the first place. She knows that men are the gatekeepers of the relationship, but women are the gatekeepers of the sex. If she give you a little something to taste on before you go out there, you're going to be thinking the whole time, after you had you a couple of brews, play a couple games of pool or something, talk some shit with the boys, hey, let me go back and see what's really on her mind. I'm going to give it to her tonight.
For real.
She act like she want it. I'm going to go get that.
For real. You got
another thing, too, I think of it like this. Depending on which individual are you with, and depending on, it's a cycle of energy, because this world is very spiritual. If you have an individual that's giving out negative energy, this is why I separated from both my exes. If every time you come around, they're always dispersing negative energy, that's a drain to my positivity. So in order to not be a drain to my positivity, I'm going to fuck around with some other woman that's bringing the same level of energy that I'm bringing, rather than being so draining all the time.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. That is an energy vampire, man.
Yep. Narcissist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but then I mean, I hate to say it, but other races of women understand that dynamic of what I just said. They know how to get up and cook their man a hot meal in the middle of the night, or go get him a sandwich. I don't know if y'all seen the movie The Brothers, but dude was like, can you get me a sandwich? And next thing you know, she popped up and did it, but he was dating a white woman. And I ain't sitting here bashing black women, but I'm just being honest that some women understand how to be nurturers instead of competing with their man. Sometimes black women compete with our man because they got all these other things that they worry about. And I ain't gonna say, I ain't bashing black women, because when a black woman in tune with herself, she can't be touched by no other woman. But when they worry about things that don't matter, takes away from what does matter to that black man. That's the issue that I have with them, is because they worry about the appearance, the hair, the nails, the lashes, all that shit that costs money and eventually draining, putting all that mask on, unfortunately sometimes drain a woman to be who she really is. So when she get home, she don't have time for the man that she drew in, because she take it all off and she just be herself, and she forget who she is when she with the man. A lot of times they drain themselves with this appearance sake. That's why I like a woman to be really all natural sometimes, because she don't have to go on and put on the front and be like Love and Hip Hop and Instagram model when they go out. She could just be who the fuck she is, come home, be the same woman. It's cool. I ain't saying to say I don't like a woman that dress herself up and do that, but at the same time, it's where she put that value at. Is that value number one to keep her going? Because it's no different than what person lose the whole world, gain the whole world, lose your soul. You putting on a worldly front and you losing yourself.
I agree wholeheartedly, man. And a whole lot of times they just doing too much, I mean, I'm like that with about a natural woman too, because it ain't nothing like having a girl that y'all take a little trip and she ain't afraid to get in the pool. You understand? But some of these bras don't want to get in the pool because they done got their hair done and they don't want to mess up their makeup. They put on so much makeup nowadays that the girls look like dudes trying to be girls. They look like drag queens. They put on these eyelashes. They put on these eyelashes that look like a tarantula on their face or something. You look like a man. It makes you look like a man that's trying to look like a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you're doing a whole lot of stuff.
It reminds me of those cartoons, like where fucking Bugs Bunny is trying to put that cucaracha.
Oh man!
I just be like I said before, when I see that shit and I'm in the supermarket, I'm like, man, I gotta get the fuck up out of here, man. Right.
Yeah, but man, I'm glad you guys. I'm glad my guys come over here and we understand. We're not like we have the awareness of what women need, what men need. We're very in tune with each other, in tune of the content, and understand what's good for us, what's not good for us. Because a lot of times I had a chick told me I'm a misogynist, and I'm like, how? I don't hate women. I'm just telling what women they need to do to help themselves. You know, and what like-minded, because a man that is not have no value is not going to treat you with a man that does have value. A simp is going to put you on a pedestal and don't have no boundaries.
Yeah, could I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Could I just say something? I hate to cut you off right here, but you know, I'm gonna say it like this: if we as a people don't set the standard, if we don't set the bar of what we're willing to accept and what we're not willing to accept, the main reason why she said that, I believe, is because you weren't so keen on just accepting anything that she was willing to put out there, like you said before, putting her on the pedestal. You let them know, hey, look, you're gonna have some accountability when you fucking with me. And if they don't want that, then what they're automatically gonna do? Try to talk you down, try to talk about you, try to demeanor you, you know, all negative shit, and that doesn't help anybody, because if anybody's willing to accept that this chick is trash, then, you know, everybody's just going to be putting on the pedestal, and then that's not right to the women that actually have some kind of value and that actually have some sense of accountability and actually have some value to bring to the table, to where that man actually feels valued and appreciated, so that the favor is then returned. Instead, we, you know, a lot of individuals are putting us back in the generation, but not in a good way. And that's why we get treated in and out of relationships negatively on how people look at it from the inside and the out. And that's all I'm going to say.
That is facts.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, man. Well, shit. How y'all feel about, I don't know if we covered this one, but I said the number one reason why men cheat, they're addicted to new sex, new women. But I don't know, did we cover that one?
I don't know if we covered that specifically or not, you know, because that's a wide spanning question too, man. As far as what the number one reason could be, I mean, it's such an individual thing. But I think the biggest thing with it myself, man, is that people aren't focused. The men are not focused on what they should be as far as viewing themselves as the prize, because nothing's going to come to you. And you need to work on specific things in your life. You have to be strategic about what you're working on in your life. And sex with another woman, with a strange woman, is a byproduct. If you work on yourself, that stuff is going to come, man. So I think these guys are just too hound doggish, and they're entering into these relationships too doggone quick. And the maturity level, when you see a new piece of tail, you just want to chase it. But that actually, what all that's saying about you is you cheat. You don't value yourself all that much. If you're willing to, that's all a girl has to do is show some new tail to you, and you've gone that way.
Facts.
So you can't say a woman is doing things. That's what kills me, because all these guys keep on putting stuff on a woman and saying it's the woman's fault. A woman can't do nothing that you don't let her do. And if you let her entice you by shaking her butt in your face and not making her prove and show her work and show why she's worthy of your attention, then that's your fault, brother.
Facts. That's facts all day. That's real. That's real grown man game right there.
Hell yeah. But it took a lot of years to get here. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I say I'm not bashing some of the young cats out here, because, hey, look, I was a pussy hound for a lot of years, man. A lot of years. But I mean, it takes a little while to get there. But once you understand, you accountable for it. You can't sit up here and tell women they got to be accountable and make them be accountable for things if we don't hold ourselves accountable for things in the first place. That's true.
That's facts. That's top notch facts that we have to hold ourselves as the leader and accountable. You know, a woman gonna follow our lead. Period. A real woman will. So if we don't lead by example, then we should accept. I mean, yeah, we should. If we don't lead by example, we should accept that we got what we got coming. We got a shorthand of the stick coming towards us. Because a woman ain't gonna if we don't lead, then they gonna do what the hell they gonna go off and do what the hell they want to do. Period.
Yeah, because they don't have no structure. They don't have no structure. We got to show them the structure. You know.
I say it like this: if you see a duck and it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's a fucking duck. If you know you see a chick that's got a lot all out there on Jump Street showing everything on her body, then you know she has very little to offer. You have to be very careful. These are not your people. If you see something that's really out there and it's exposed, or you ask some questions and this shit ain't adding up, leave it there. Because it's a red flag, man. That shit won't steer you wrong on instinct. Stop thinking with your dick and think with your brain.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Because you got to look at everything else the girl bring to the table. Hey, look, my grandpa used to tell me that it ain't nothing but a greasy piece of meat, Jack. That's all it is. They all got one. And if they don't wash it real well, it all smell like catfish if they don't wash it real good. So, sometimes you run across some that ain't as good as the other ones, but you don't never run across a bad piece of pussy. They all got one.
Yeah. And another thing too, my father, he said this to me. He said, things have a price in life. It may cost you a little, it may cost you a lot, but if you're not careful, it could cost you your life. So you got to be very careful with dealing with different individuals. If you don't pay very close attention to them red flags, it may cost you a little, it may cost you a lot through experience and shit and learning lessons from it. But if you're not careful and you with that wrong person, it costs you your fucking life, man. Got to be very careful, very very careful. That's male or female, depending on who you're around, man.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta be the best versions of ourselves before we can recognize anything or anybody for us. A lot of times, we don't get into those modes of knowing who we are. Like you said, you chase that ass and be that pussy hound. When you're chasing for ass for so long, you don't even know who you are. Just like when women. For real, just like when women out here chasing for all this money, they lose sight of who they really are. Then they hit the wall. Then they want to date with a purpose.
Yeah. They already hit the fucking wall. Yep, and they already hit the fucking wall. And then they say, I date with a purpose. How? What's going on? Hang it up, man.
Yeah.
Hang it up.
So, yeah, I ain't really, we like I said, we don't into bashing women, but we into telling women the truth, because sometimes I don't think women can understand the truth at times. A lot of times when a man tell a woman the truth in good faith and basically coming, the only women I feel like they understand the truth in good faith is women that has fathers that's top notch and being honest. They can vibrate off a man that tells the truth. But women that come from a single mother home or with no correction of a grandfather or uncle or something like that, they feel like when a man tells them the truth, it's the end of the world.
Right.
Like, because at the end of the day, it's too many simps out here putting women on a pedestal. So if they find one man to buck back and tell them the truth, they don't understand it. They fight off of it.
You being mean or abusive to them at that point.
Yeah, like
that sound like my second baby mom, bro. If you tell her the truth, be like, hey, look, there's just certain shit you don't do. Oh, I just rather be with somebody. Okay, cool, go ahead, bye. Go ahead and live with that dude. It ain't got nothing to do with me. When you know what you are, you sure and you're firm with yourself and who you are. Anybody that wants to leave, you let them go. Why? Because if you hold on to them, you're fucking yourself up and you're holding yourself back by being with these kind of individuals.
Absolutely, brother.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but man, with that being said, man, we're gonna jump on here tomorrow night, and if you coming in from the other stream, we're gonna be on Stack 44 YouTube. Call in, the number will be there. If you're a lady or man, you got whatever the topic is tomorrow. I'm not scheduled a topic, but we're gonna have one, and we're gonna jump in here and do this thing all over again. We're gonna talk about what's real out here in the dating market, what's real, how we can improve ourselves, women and men. I mean, it's a place where women and men could call in and give their opinion, tell it what it is and how it is and what life is, because at the end of the day, life is relationships. We can't continue to progress or making the society any more better until men and women get along, period. But with that being said, what you guys got anything to close with?
Nah, brother. What time you gonna kick it tomorrow?
Oh, now we got somebody calling at the last minute. Let me see. I hope there ain't no troll. Oh, they hung up, so maybe it was a troll. So that's how trolls do. They wait to the end of the show to call.
Right.
Damn.
But
Damn.
Hey, I'm not surprised. They hung up though, because I don't let the trolls get in no more. I check with the earpiece first before I get on, so and they won't get on the air.
What time you gonna get down tomorrow, Stack?
I'm looking at about 6:30, 7 o'clock tomorrow.
All right.
So yeah, I might go 3 days in a row and then skip Friday because it's Christmas, and then do Saturday, Sunday. So we might get 5 shows this week.
Right on.
So it depends on the engagement. Like, oh, you was calling? You want to call back? Come on, call back. You ain't no troll. Call back. Hold on. It's a woman, so I'll call you back now. No, call back though, real quick. We'll give you your floor. We can go for 2 hours. We can do overtime. Call back. Here she go. All right. How you doing?
What up, Stack?
Who this?
Man, it's GC, man. I just wanted to say y'all a shout out man, to the panel, man. Real players, man.
Okay, I thought.
What's happening? Man, it's good, man. Big Rich. Good to hear, man, brother. Oh, yeah, it's all good, boy. This chairman here, man. Y'all know some real player shit, man.
Oh, yeah. What you got? You got anything on the topic tonight?
Man, I was just soaking everything up, man. Y'all on point. Real shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We try.
That's what we got to do is build each other up, brother. We just try to build each other up. You know how we do. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. That's what's up, man. I just had to call in and let y'all know, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, we appreciate you, bro.
A lot of manosphere, man.
Yeah.
Man, big guns, one love, brother, one love. Hell yeah, it's all good, though. Stack, you know I'm rolling with you till the wheels fall off, man.
Hey, man, I'm rolling all the way through, bro. It ain't gonna be. Hey, it's no reason not to roll, bro. We got to do this to make everything grow in the manosphere. A lot of times, guys get so sidetracked of telling women or hurt. Some of these guys be on these panels hurt. We on this panel speaking positive vibes about what women can do to help us and what we can do to help women, what we need to stop doing, because guys that's losing is crying and complaining. Guys that's winning is finding solutions. And that's what it's all about. I mean, it's good to be aware of what the bad woman or the bad man bring to the table, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna, you gotta find your lane of living life in a good way, not a bad way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Because a lot of
huh? The thing is, I'm gonna say it like this. Sorry to cut you off, brother. The thing I'm gonna say is like this. You could be at the lowest point of your life, right? Shit fucked up, shit going bad. You're like, damn, fucked up in the game. But now the situation is, you as a man, what are you prepared to do about it? You gonna sit there and cry like a bitch, or you gonna get on your job and make it happen for yourself? And that's the difference between, death and dishonor and being a real man and handling your business.
Mm-hmm. It's all better. Definitely.
Exactly. But yeah, man.
Rich, I know, Stack, you said it closed. Well, I just had to call in, man. Show my appreciation to all y'all players on the panel, man. Shit.
That's all good. We're going to do this tomorrow night. So, the ladies that didn't call in, that hit a playback tonight, be willing to call in and discuss what we got going on tomorrow. I don't know what the topic going to be, But I'm gonna make sure the topic is good for ladies and men to call in, and we could chime in and try to help each other out. Because at the end of the day, we like and share this video. It's gonna touch somebody. It's gonna change somebody's life. It's gonna help somebody understand that all men ain't cheaters and all women ain't cheaters. It's gonna help somebody understand that there's some real people out there, but people gotta have the principles and the boundaries to live by to understand who they are as a person. So that's what it's all about.
And I was fire. You just said that. Damn, you just summed it up.
Hey, it's the truth though. I mean, because like I got a lot. I mean, I got another stream going on with this YouTube stream and women jumping in. There's more women jumping in on there, and they saying, "Oh man, all men are cheaters and shit." And I'm like, man, all men don't cheat. I know it's a high percentage of men that do cheat, but it's a high percentage of simps out there as well. That that simps. No, now don't get it twisted. All simps ain't weak, but some simps are selfish. Relationships ain't for weak, selfish, or insecure people. So a lot of times people come on with this simp mentality, but they want to be a selfish simp with a woman. And a lot of dudes that are controlling and want to hold their woman and tell the woman what to wear and all that, and they out there getting they swerve on with somebody else as well. So it's deep out here. We could have got way deeper if these women would have called in tonight, but it's all good. But yeah. But you got did you close yet, Rich? Did you say what you want to say at the end?
Hey, brother, look, it's like this. I just wanted to say, man, peace to the Goalden child, man. Good getting to talk to you, brother. Good talking to you, Mike. You know what I'm saying? It's good to hear from y'all brothers all the time, man. You build me up every time I come in here. And Stack, once again, I want to thank you for letting me get on here, man, and chop it up with y'all. It's always a good time, man, and we try to do it again tomorrow, bro.
It's always a good time, man. Goalden child, thanks, man, for pushing that what's the name in that cash out, man. I ain't asked you to do that, but I appreciate what you do, man, when you come in.
I fuck with you, bro. Definitely. Yeah, it's all good, man.
All right, Mike, you got anything?
No doubt, man. I just want to say, peace to you, Stacks. You know what I'm saying? You making the shit happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? I never thought it would come this far, but you doing it, man. Don't stop what you're doing, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Big Rich, my little homie on the board. Man, I love y'all, man. Always stay on
Mike, you know it, man.
Do your thing, man. Do your thing, man. Keep doing your thing and hold your head up. As far as all of this bullshit that's going on in the world, man, just hold it down, baby. We doing it. Hold it down.
Yeah, for sure.
All
right, brothers, man. I'll get with y'all soon, man. Y'all be safe and careful out there, man. We love you too, man.
Yeah, be safe and careful. Bro. It's ugly out there. With that being said, we out of here, guys. Peace.
Love. All right.
All right.
One.